The bill has been years in the making, and I am proud to say that it is now bipartisan. I want to thank Ranking Member Comer and his staff for working diligently with me and others to put together this bipartisan bill to help ensure the Postal Service can continue to operate for years to come. Mr. Comer is a very tough negotiator, but he shares my desire to protect and improve the Postal Service. So after many, many weeks of discussions, we were able to come to a bipartisan agreement. I would also like to thank Representatives Conley, Lynch, and Lawrence for their partnership and dedication to getting this bill done. I could not have done this without their support, their wisdom, and their insight. Finally, I would like to thank Congresswoman Fox, who has not only agreed to co-sponsor this bill, but will also be serving with me as co-chair of the new Postal Caucus we are forming to strengthen the Post Office and Postal Service more. I would like to thank the staff on both sides of the aisle for their hard work on this important bill, particularly our Legislative Director, Mark Stevenson. The Postal Service is one of our nation's most vital and respected institutions. It binds our nation together in a way that no other agency or organization does. And this bill will put this vital institution on a sustainable financial footing for generations to come. And we need to remember that during the COVID pandemic, essential postal workers were on the front lines and were the literal lifeline for many Americans, so they deserve this help. In March, we held a hearing on a discussion draft of this important reform legislation. While the bill has changed to include other reforms since then, the foundational elements of the bill we discussed in March remain. First, the bill will require postal employees to enroll in Medicare when they are eligible. All postal employees already pay into Medicare, but many would not receiving it through their careers, but not all retirees enroll when they reach 65. Now they will be able to have Medicare coverage, and once it expires or is exhausted, postal benefit plan will provide additional coverage. In addition, the Postal Service has already paid into Medicare roughly $35 billion since 1983. So it's only fair that their workers should benefit from their own money. The bill would ensure the Postal Service employees can fully utilize the benefits that they have already paid for. In fact, retirees who are already over 65 would be given a 3-month period to enroll with no penalty. This change does not cost American taxpayers a dime. Secondly, the bill would eliminate the unfair requirement that Postal Service pre-fund its retiree health benefits for 75 years into the future. No private company or federal agency is required to comply with such a burdensome and unfair pre-funding requirement. Instead of requiring the Postal Service to pre-fund retiree health benefits for all current employees and retirees, the bill would require the Postal Service to pay a small yearly top-up payment to cover the actual costs incurred by retirees in that year. This change will help reduce the burden on the Retiree Health Benefit Fund and help it remain solvent further into the future. These two reforms alone would save the Postal Service about $46 billion over 10 years. In addition to these foundational reforms, this bill would provide Congress and the American people with additional transparency by requiring the Postal Service to develop an online public-facing database that shows weekly service performance information, a great idea offered by Ranking Member Comer. This will help Congress and the public react to future poor performance quickly and efficiently. While I recognize that as this bill moves forward, there will be the need for additional technical adjustments to ensure that Postal Service employees' benefits are protected, the bipartisan reforms included in this bill will increase transparency, improve service, and put the Postal Service on a more sustainable footing for generations to come. I urge my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to support this important bill, and I yield back. And with